E ono ngā pōti e whakahe. Kawana! Ka whakamanu whiriti a koe au! Kamate, kamate,
The House is suspended until the ringing of the bells. The gallery is to be cleared.
What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. This video goes out to all my Fijians, my Polynesians, my Melanesians, my Samoans, my Hawaiians, all of you Southeast Asian people, right? And this is coming from an African American, a foundational Black African. This is coming from the common sense African American, not the hateful, because I got to qualify. There are elements of our community who are hateful and unknowledgeable about anything outside of America, and that's America's fault. Okay, but I just wanted to say this because I've always believed this, and I know I have a lot of Southeast Asians from that area that watch me. And I know when y'all look at me, y'all looking at me, you're like, hey, that could be my brother, you know, and I've always been mistaken for one of you guys, always, my entire life. That has been my main other, because I have a unique look, right? And when I was bigger, I used to be a big guy, at one point, and I had a big old I most definitely looked like one of you guys. And let me tell you what I think I can speak for Black people, with common sense, who are worldly, who knows, especially ones who know history, geography, and human migration. When an African sees you, right? I want you to understand, I'm talking to you guys from as if a Black man looking across millennia, a Black man who's looking at you from 10,000 years ago, someone who can see his family from 10,000, from 20,000 years ago, despite all the bullshit between Africa and where you guys reside, despite all the racism and all the miscommunication and misunderstanding, despite all that, when Africans see you, something inside of us says, that's my brother, that's my sister, that's my family. We know you are a family. And yes, there are some people that try to say that you're not Black. There are some people who, because they equate Blackness with just being an American, African American. There are some people who try to gatekeep it. But understand, Black doesn't belong to those people. All right? And when we say, we look at you and we see y'all as us, it's because something inside us, as we are, as you know, we are the mothers and fathers of civilization. And a mother and a father can always recognize their biological children. And somehow, you guys have managed to make it all the way over there without changing too much to where we can't recognize you. You see, everybody else has changed. Everybody else has turned into this, has mutated into that, right? But you guys, for some reason, you guys have stayed strong and stayed similar. Not only in your looks, but in your culture. When I see the Fijians, when I see the Samoans, when I see the Australians, the Micronesians, all I see is my brothers and sisters who left a long time ago. And I'm glad that you guys survived. I'm glad that you guys made it. That's how I feel. That's how most of us feel. When we see you guys do your Haka, right? When we see that, there's something inside that connects with us, because we feel like there's something there that tells us that also belongs to us somewhere along the line. That you took that power, the silence between the sounds, that passion and energy, that earth spirit, It seems like you carried that along all the way over there. And I have to be honest, you guys are one of the greatest successes of the African people. You guys are one of our success stories as we ventured out of the continent of Africa, following the migratory patterns of animals that we use for subsistence, because that's how y'all got there. And many of you didn't change, and I know a lot of you guys are being hidden by the greater white dominant society. A lot of you guys are being hidden by the Han, like northern Asian society, who likes to pretend like you don't exist. But I've been to the Philippines, and I've seen the original Filipinos. I lived in Japan, and I've seen those original Japanese. I haven't been to Australia, but we all know they black. And I know that you Micronesians, Melanesians, all of you guys, New Zealand, I know all of you guys are just cousins. All of you guys are brothers and sisters, and y'all walked and y'all sailed. You are the greatest sailors in humankind. You guys even made it to South and Southern America, to the point to where even Africans believe that it was us who came this direction, when in fact it was actually you guys. There's still a population of you Melanesian, Micronesian subgroup DNA-wise in South America, in Peru. There's still a small population of you guys before you guys mixed with those other Asians that came over the Bering Strait from Alaska and Russia over to an American and came down and met you guys somewhere in Central or South America. It pisses African Americans off, and I'm gonna be honest, when we see those white Europeans cosplaying you, when you see them doing your dances, when you see them pretending to be like you, it's offensive to us, because it's equal to some European pretending to be African and stealing our culture and stealing our ways of life and stealing our spirit after trying to crush our spirit. And we see those Europeans doing their Haka dance, the Haka dance, and pretending to be you, when we in fact we know that when they do it is empty. I would love nothing more, honestly, than to see a bunch of Africans follow the lead of one of you guys in a Haka ceremony. And excuse me if I'm saying it wrong. I would love to see African Americans, continental Africans, fellowship more in a more intimate a more intimate manner with you guys, because we are we remember that we are spirits. We love and cherish the earth. We love and cherish everybody, and there's not that many people on the planet that have the natural love and care for humanity wholeheartedly than you guys. I've been all over the world, and I've seen how people act naturally. We see how certain groups of people act naturally, culturally, and I have to say that you guys emulate us the most, because you are us. And don't ever let anybody question your blackness. Don't let even a person who looks like me, don't ever let an African American, anybody question your blackness, because your blackness goes further back than any concept of modern day society. You guys are the superheroes of humanity. Do you understand that? The things that you guys have accomplished with the technology and the connection with nature. You guys managed to circumnavigate the world on living boats. Something the Europeans couldn't do. Even their claim to fame is sailing all over the world, but you guys did it first. You guys sailed the world, for you circumnavigated the world in such a beautiful, natural, and very dangerous way. I can imagine how many of your ancestors passed away circumnavigating the world, the world, populating all those islands in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. When I see that daunting, the daunting distances, in my mind, I just can't imagine how you did it, but I know how you did it. You followed the stars. People forget that before maps, we followed the stars. And I know y'all got that from us Africans, because we was following the stars tens of thousands of years ago. That's how we navigated the planet. That's how we walked our way out of that massive continent. That's how we walked through Southeast Asia all the way to the other side until we couldn't go anymore, and then we just got on boats and went. So I just wanted to say that we African people absolutely feel kinship with you, and you are black. You are you are amongst the first group to leave Africa, to explore this planet, to conquer this world. And I just want to say I appreciate and I love all of you. Southeast Asian, Polynesian, Melanesian, Micronesian, any kind of, if I'm missing a Nesian, let me know. Hawaiians, Samoans, all of you. Now, I do know within your communities there may be some racism towards Africans, but I know that's propaganda. And I'm not worried about those who deny their blackness. I'm not worried about those who hate us. But because I know the majority of you guys love us and you view yourselves as us. And don't let anybody who ain't us tell us who we are. All right? Because we Africans know who you are. When you sing, we know who you are. When you dance, we know who you are. So I just want you to understand that. There is a Fijian right now that's in America, and every time I see him, he makes me smile. He look like he'd be my brother. Almost every Fijian I've ever seen look like they could be my brother. Like straight blood brother. Because that's how connected we are. Right? It doesn't matter how far our genetics has changed. That just shows that you guys have went that far. That just shows that you guys have traveled that far in the future. But we all been together this whole time. And one day when we, create a better world, I'm pretty sure that we'll be able to kumbaya and we'll be able to look at each other's cultures and see the similarities that has lasted over the test of time. One of the greatest stories of mankind. So I just wanted to say that to you guys. If you ever wondered how African people feel about you, or ever been surprised that any African would stop and listen to that Haka, and something in our soul just tells us to stop and pay attention to our biological family that's traveled, circumnavigated the world, but still remembers who they are. Unlike many who have forgotten who they are and where they come from. And because of that, they are, in fact, suffering. But I do believe that one day, peace and the way of life that we have created before things got out of hand, before other groups of people have taken in charge and destroyed humanity for the sake of greed, for the sake of gluttony, for the sake of egotistical means, for the sake of property and things. I believe one day we'll get back to that. But it's going to take kind-hearted people like you guys to remain. Please don't ever change. Continue to be who you are. The wonderful, beautiful people of Southeast Asia and those beautiful islands that you guys have populated and made wonderful before certain groups of people decided to come and tear it down and destroy it and steal it. The same way they stole the Native Americans' identity. The same way they stole the South Africans' identity. The same way they gallivant around the world pretending to be all these cultures that they're not. Because they are missing something on the inside. That's why they continue to take it from those who have something. And they say that we don't have anything because we have everything that they want. And no matter how much stuff they produce, no matter how much stuff they steal, no matter how much they cosplay, they could never be us. Ever. So this is just a quick video. I just want to say shout out to my brothers and sisters on the other side of the planet. We see you, we hear you, and we love you forever over the distance, time, and moral. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. Is Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach something. I'm out.
Diaspora village, where our first landed.
Oh, okay.
People, they came, say that they came from Africa.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes. They landed here at Punda Point.
Punda Point, okay.
Yeah. And then the ship were wrecked. Okay. And then they swam the shore, and then they came over here. Probably the first village was up in the interior.
Oh.
And after that, came over here. We chose this wonderful place before the coast.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh.
Whenever went heavy rain, we don't flooded here.
That said it all. Not only the first Africans who settled here out of Africa were sailors and explorers, but also among them were mathematicians, engineers, and above all, geologians. They studied the island and settled in a place that won't be affected by flood. That note negates all that's been said by some Western writers and historians, that Africans were nothing but savages.
Before she leaves for school. Uh-oh, here comes a visitor. This is Varney. His family has just moved to the... Varney doesn't know his way around. So father tells Rapopo and Davila to take him with them to school this morning. In school, the teacher wears sandals and a long native dress. The children are used to having classes out of doors. Now the teacher calls on Davila to read what is written on the blackboard. The letters are in English, but the words are in Fijian. Varney gets acquainted with everyone. Davila finishes reading. Rapopo turns to watch the other children work. Children of the Fiji Islands learn is rapidly finishing the roof of the new house. It will keep out the rain and the hot sunlight. Today,
How come the stupid slave ship story didn't arrive in Pacific Islands?
needs to be cleaned.
Honestly, my favorite thing about Fiji is that the people are black. Like, this must be how white people feel when they go to Europe. Additionally, not only are Fijians black, but they're black indigenous people. That is a whole different experience. It just really shifts the whole thought and idea of your existence as a black person on this earth. I promise you, when you go to a place where everybody is black, like, you just, it's just a whole different experience. Like, for me, the biggest compliment I've gotten while I was here is, oh, I thought you were Fijian. Oh, yes. I hope you think I'm Fijian, because then the people treat you different. I have a much more local experience. It's just, you get treated differently when you're not viewed as a tourist. I mean, I'm still a tourist, obviously, but the first impression of me is not that I'm a tourist. It's like, oh, she's from here. And that opens so many doors. So that being said, honestly, if you're black, I mean, go everywhere. But you will have a great time when you go to the countries where the people are also black. Those places have been my personal fave because the camaraderie between the people are just different.
Polynesia, Melanesia, Micronesia, that whole entire region does have an African connection. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear it, but too bad. Because where there's African history, it's no longer your history, okay? And I can prove this to you. I'm going to address this person here, Notachi. Okay, Notachi, you don't have any pictures, so I don't know what you are, but at least you are coming forward as a Fijian, so which means that you are from the Fiji Islands. You say we Fijians are not African. We are Melanesian. Our DNA is closer to Asian than it is Africa. This is one of the most white supremacist languages that exist when it comes to that region of the world, right? One thing you'll never hear me do is to say we have connections with the Aboriginal people of Australia. I have tried. There's literally nothing that I can find that is similar to African culture, anything with the Aboriginal people. They're the only group so far, one of the only groups. Fijian, don't know what your problem is, Natacha, but we're going to fix it today. Oh, he's not done, I'm sorry. He says, our DNA have been around for a very long time, mostly here in the Pacific Islands, proving that we are descendants of the Austronesian people, the first people to settle the Pacific Islands. Natachi, you settled the Pacific Islands coming from where? Because this chest, big chest that you're pushing out there saying that you are nowhere close to Africans, I know where that comes from. I've been on the internet long enough, before you probably were on the internet, and I know how white racist boys have created this narrative. Talking about people from Papua New Guinea are just so far removed from people in Africa. They'll go as far as saying people from Papua New Guinea are closer to white than they are to Africa. So I know where this comes from. Our DNA has been around for a very long time, mostly here in the Pacific Islands, proving that we are descendants of the Austronesian people, the first people to settle the Pacific Islands, okay? So you don't know what the word settle means because you don't know where your people came from, okay? You can come from a place and land from a place and create a history there, okay? Your history doesn't start there, and your identity cannot start there because where you came from, you were linked with other people. The reason I already know that you don't know what you are talking about is the fact that you think that we don't understand what Polynesia, Micronesia, and Melanesia is. Let me start by saying that I live in Hawaii, okay? So I'm around Polynesians and I'm around Micronesians. I don't think there's any much Melanesians, I don't know. But Micronesians, Polynesians, everywhere in Hawaii. And let me tell you, they don't have the same issues that you are addressing here. But as a person from Fiji, who's coming from the Melanesian Islands, you know Melanesian means black, right? melanin, black. That's the whole reason why they did that, is because the people there looked black, okay? I'm gonna start out right there with a little bit of something from Fiji and possibly Papua New Guinea. Please keep this map in mind, because I want to show you, like when I say Polynesian, I want you to know how far Polynesian islands are far from these Melanesian islands, and how far these Melanesian islands are from Micronesian islands, right? But common sense also lets us know that you could not possibly be in the Malaysian islands like in Fiji and never have made it to the Polynesian islands in Tonga, and didn't make it to all these other islands here, okay? If people can go from this island to this island, these people can go to this island, and so, you know, back and forth. These are the ancient people of Fiji, right? The black and white one, making him probably one of the oldest in this picture, I don't know. But the one at the bottom too, that's Fiji, and the group of people up there, those are Fijian people. So you got on the internet and you said that you are more related to a whole other group of people than you are to Africans. That's Fiji. Please pay attention to that nose flute, okay? That nose flute is important because it pops up in many, many parts of the world, but that's because a lot of it came later, right? I saw one that says German, and these Germans were playing the nose flute. That came to them much, much earlier, because this is a very, very ancient tool, and you find it amongst ancient communities, okay? These are the Tonga people and the Samoa, okay? Natachi, when we are talking about black people and African history, we are not talking about these people that look like this today. When we are talking about our history and our connection with us and you being Fiji and or whatever it is that you come from, we are talking about this group of people, and the other black group of people that even came before them, okay? You think that we don't understand that this is a new and that this is ancient. We know the difference. And so when we are talking to Africans, I need you to understand that when we are discussing our history and our connection, we're not talking about this. We are talking about this. This is Vanuatu, right up there with the Indonesian islands also. This is the history we're talking about. Stop bringing people whose skin has already mixed with some light-skinned Asians and all types of groups of people, and now they have straight hair. That's not the group we are talking about. And it even goes as far as they'll say, oh, we are not close to, you know, the Nesian crew. Polynesian, Melanesian, Micronesian, the green, yellow, and purple. They believe that they are closer to the pink and the orange. I believe that's Southeast Asia. But here's the problem with ancient Southeast Asia. This is ancient Southeast Asia. So it's not connecting to you just yet, right? You think that when we are talking about our history, that we are talking about people, that how people look like today. When you have an ancient history like Africans do, okay, our history goes way back. And so you need to focus when you are talking to us to understand which era and which timeline we are referencing, because you may not even appear in these timelines that we are talking about, okay? Remember that nose flute from Fiji? Guess where you see it again? You see it in Hawaii. Why? Because Hawaii are Polynesians. Mr. Nose Flute Fiji, okay? Mr. We are not related to Africans, okay? Hawaii, Fiji, nose flute. Again, the nose flute is found even in Malaysian cultures and in all those other cultures. But when you take it back into the most indigenous cultures, that's who we are talking about, okay? Like I said, if you see a picture of Germans with the nose flute, that's more colonial. You know, they used it after. It's not something that's theirs, okay? So be mindful when you're looking at pictures. Who else does and plays this nose flute, right? So the other thing too with African imagery is that sometimes it's not like every picture of Africans doing every single thing was always, you know, captured, right? But we do know that there are Tanzanian tribes that have a culture, a history behind this that is also involved in their traditions, right? So where does the nose flute come from? From ancient societies. Do you know what else you cannot fight? Natachi. This print found in Burkina Faso and West Africa. If you can find this video, go find it and check all those comments out. Fijians who are not anti-African know the history. Africans who are not anti-other people know this part of history. There's nothing wrong understanding that before you settle somewhere, you came from somewhere. And for the most part, we are the keepers of that history, where most people came from, okay? Not you. And I know you think that maybe being 5,000 years old or 50,000 years old is a big deal, okay? Africans go back hundreds and thousands of years, okay? And as much as we have about tens and thousands of history and knowledge. We're not talking because we're trying to look like you or we want you to look like us. It's because you have a little bit of our history in you and we have the right to come and take it out. Dango.
This is the way we're taking care of our afro in Fiji. In Fiji, we call buininga. Great mothers and pass it to us. So we have to keep it, our Fijian culture, alive in nowadays. It's easy to comb, no tangle. After you just comb it and then you use your hand to shape it. This hairstyle, with the young girls nowadays, you hardly get to see this style here, the buininga.
I just want to keep and maintain my own culture.
Everyone says, oh, if they can straighten the hair, why can't we? Then after a while they regret because they lost their texture, can't get back their afro.
Before, when we look for our mothers, our grandmothers, they all have long buininga. But today, it's hardly to see the buininga in the village.
I'm so proud because we are encouraging our friends out here to wear the same hairstyle that we have.
We have to be proud of that, because they are our traditional. It's our Fijian culture.
I'm Fijian. Of course I live in the happiest place on earth.
I'm Fijian, of course.
You know, I told you this week or probably next week and continue is going to be like world history of finding where the Black and African people are. Did you know some of the earliest non-indigenous settlers in Fiji were Black? Let's talk about this legacy of the lives on the Fiji culture, especially today. So when you think about Fiji, we often have like a picture of like white sand beaches and indigenous Malaysian roots, right? But there's more to the story. Like during the 1800s and early 1900s, the British Empire transported thousands of indentured laborers to Fiji. Did y'all know that? While many came from India, there were also Black laborers from like Africa and Caribbean, especially places like Guyana and Trinidad and Jamaica. Interesting, huh? These Black laborers were brought in after the abolition of slavery under what the British called coolie system. Interesting. But don't let that name fool you, coolie, right? It was exploitive. It's not a nice name, and it was brutal. Many of these people were promised freedom after they set numbers of years, but often faced poor working conditions, little to no pay, and the separation from their families. Repetitive, right? Around the world. If you thought it would just happen in America, think again. So despite some of this, something beautiful did happen. Like every time cultural fusions intermixing, these Black laborers like intermarried with indigenous Fijians, and their descendants like contributed to everything from the local language to the music, to the food, to the fashion. You can still find Fijians today with African textured hair and dark skin tones. I've seen it. Now it all makes sense. Proudly honoring both their Malaysian and African Caribbean roots. Don't believe me? Look it up. I just watched. YouTube's your friend. So yes, these stories are rarely told. Like the colonial records minimize their presence. And over generations, this history was nearly erased. But it's still there because the people are still alive. traditions and sharing their life. I mean, y'all. So now that you know the legacy of Black laborers in Fiji, how do you want to make sure this story doesn't get erased? What do you remember what I share? You can always dig a little bit more because we can all be curious together, right? Let me know which one surprised you. And stay tuned because your girl got more. I'm just trying to make these shorter because I got too much information to keep going. Unless I have a victory story, I will go deep diving. And y'all know it's about 5 to 7 minutes. Okay. Okay? Stay curious.
I will forever be very grateful to my Auntie Keisha for showing me how to take care of my hair. I only got my hair sponged for the first time last year, and for whatever reason, I have just never really known what you can do with my hair. Didn't grow up around many people that had the same hair as me. So went to a beautiful family dinner tonight with one of my very good friends, Kiani, and her beautiful mother, my Auntie Keisha. She gave me the whole game.
I
can have these?
Yeah, he said, because he's locked. So he doesn't, you can't use them.
And now I'm locked in.
Let us pray.
Oh, it really does.
Wow.
Wow.
Once I do this in your hair and it's moisturized,
This is amazing.
it'll be great.
It already looks different.
Yeah. We just need to get you a chain and a grill and your transformation.
Hey, Tom, stay down. Talking about. Oh my God.
I just whooped him and she did not say that. Okay, so it has rosemary and mint in it, so you might feel hair right now, and you'll see that it's still dry, but it might feel a little bit more.
So is that kind of crazy that it's that dry? It is?
It's not rare though.
Your hair is healthy. It's just dry. That's all.
Oh, okay.
He was like, cook.
A little. Oh, damn.
Keisha does this for like all the kids.
Really?
I do, because I cannot stand them walking around with dry hair.
Like wash their hair.
It used to
It's
be.
a whole regimen.
It is. Like the baking soda and vinegar on locks is so critical.
I guess because
to
my.
clean the scalp.
Let's go. Let's go.
I get the big ones.
Yeah. So all my like Olaplex.
Lock it in. Twin. Lock it in.
I like that, twin.
Yeah.
Whoa, that looks amazing.
I don't either. I don't want to burn my hair off, but I might have to get with you on the old hair stuff.
Whoa.
You said burn your hair off.
My
I'm talking about dyeing my own hair.
I haven't seen my curls like this in a long time.
And you literally just
Then it's gonna get a whole.
This is no shower, no nothing.
That's
Your curls are going to pop so beautifully. You are going to be a problem.
Hey, Tom, stay down, boy.
I love that you guys have shown me like over this whole trip that's what this is all about.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to like set up a space where people could come through and like experience my culture.
Good to see you, my brother.
Like a deep sign of love for us. It's like introducing people to our food. For real.
Like to share the food.
For
and
real.
I didn't even know this was here, so thank you for also putting on a business.
I see you. I see you.
What the hell?
Do you know? Just wanted to come and give you your flowers. Just how y'all are sharing not just the cool stuff, but just showing us authentically.
So what drew us to you is your storytelling.
I hope I go to New Zealand one day.
I'm gonna make it to New Zealand one day.
Please do.
At the beginning of last year, I told my friend, I was like, I'm going to New Zealand.
Dang.
Because I went and I also got a tattoo. It's healing. So
How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
You know what's crazy is we really look like family. You look like my uncle.
I'm here with my cousin, our cousin.
I appreciate you like letting me come here and do this, bro. And
Hey, we like that for real. On God.
So a lot of people have asked me what is it like being black in New Zealand, and for people back home that might be an uncomfortable thing, but to put it to you straight, when I first came out here and they asked me what my identity was, there's obviously, I had all the conversations that we would have back home, and someone put it to me plainly, you're black in America. So the way that I speak to experiences, things of that nature, I'm speaking from a joint experience from how we look. People are asking me, people that look like you, that look like me, what is their experience like in New Zealand? And I've obviously have felt the love over this last few weeks And, you know, I've really tried to both present New Zealand culture in as best a way as I can, as I'm receiving this beautiful culture that I am so deeply trying to pay homage to. But to be honest, like I have to be really honest as well in all of this, because I'm seeing more and more people say they want to come to New Zealand. And as we know back home, that's a long ass flight, that's a lot of money. And I would feel really guilty if I didn't actually give people the honest truth about what that actually is, growing up black in New Zealand. A lot of people are going to hate what the I'm going to say. And me prefacing that, you already know what I'm going to say. We are very behind. Colorism is rife in the Pacific. I'll just be completely honest. You'd be lying if you said that the word black in New Zealand was not an insult for a very long time. And for me, that's why claiming black as a celebration is a lot harder than me accepting it as an insult, because that part is what I grew up on. I didn't grow up on it being celebrated. So even when it comes out here, people have asked me, like this comment here, Ali Approved has asked, to further understand when you say you wouldn't claim blackness in America, does that mean you would not claim blackness at all? The thing is that I would claim blackness, but to be honest, it's been marred with a lot of confusion with where we're at, especially because in places like New Zealand, people as dark as me, even within my own people, the Māori, I'm a lot darker than the average Māori. So even within my own people, you know, I'm an outlier. But I'm not gonna project my own experience. I'm not gonna do that, because there's too much room for people coming in and saying, you know, this and this. I'm gonna let you decide for yourself. Before I do that, we are a beautiful people. Māori, we're beautiful. Islanders, Fijians, we're the most loving people, but we are behind as well, and there's so much to be discussed in there. A young black woman from the States has come. Her name is Skylar Beeman, and she was very upset that she cannot find someone that can do her hair, an experience that I know about deeply. My mum used to have to take me to barbers and ask them if they know how to cut my hair, and they would say no. And that's why I grew up just getting buzz cuts. That's why to this day my mum is bald. It goes that deep. But people on my side of the world do not like considering that it is that deep for us. And they would say it's not that deep as a way to invalidate your feelings around such a thing. So I would say, if you just look at the comments, now, these are very bad. Not everyone is like this. But a lot of people are like this too, to be honest. And for a lot of the black Americans that are reaching out to me and seeing New Zealand as this beautiful haven that's perfect, that's completely open to them because that's how I've presented it, it is. But we also have a lot of and to be honest, it's both things. We're a beautiful country that we are like trying to empower ourselves over oppressive narratives and systems, but we're also very behind too. And so I will continue to speak of how great our country is and how amazing we are, but I would feel really guilty if I just presented it perfectly, because that would go against everything that I'm even out here to try and do. So I want to expose that, and then I want you to kind of start to understand it for yourself. I'm not going to tell you anything. And I want to invite other Melanesians, people from the Pacific, to speak on what I am speaking on, rather than me just be the main person speaking on that. Colorism in the Pacific it's a real thing. And to be honest, it's f***ed up. Finally, I got to have my first soul food experience, and it was one of the greatest days of my life, and you're going to see why. Ash was the most amazing tour guide. She brought me to Mum and them here in Birmingham, Alabama. And I cannot tell you how much it felt like I just walked into a family reunion. For real, was just hanging out with my cousins today. It was Pinky and Shanika from Mum and Them's. They taught me about Clock It.
You ever had Austin's Clock It?
Clock It.
They don't know about Clock It.
Hey, okay.
It really felt like I was just with family.
I'm gonna do whatever you think.
Okay.
I went through.
No,
I'm gonna talk.
You can trust him.
I'm gonna do the pork chop. And
I'm doing everything. I'm gonna do everything. I'm gonna do everything. You wanna taste one of these ribs?
Fano, look at this food. What's crazy is I actually started to get emotional at this point because it's exactly like home.
Yes, man. Yes, bro. Y'all did that. I appreciate you guys. Hey, everyone, this is Pinky from Mama Name, Birmingham. I've never had collard greens, Pinky, but we hear about it a lot. But I've never had collard greens, and I've never had black-eyed peas either.
Got to try so many things that I've always wanted to try. Grape Kool-Aid with sugar. Oh my days. Tried some fried catfish. Dang! Did ask if it was okay if I eat with my hands because that's how we eat back home.
The way they made this chicken is unreal.
This was like a pork sausage hot dog, I think.
I love this, man.
The food was so good, I'm actually going to do a separate video entirely on the food because there's something. First one, I just want you guys to see the vibe in here. I loved this place.
Shanika, is it normal to not be able to walk after that?
Yeah.
Yeah. My knees just started shaking.
Yeah. You go get in the car and go to sleep. It's called the itis, okay? That's when you eat so much food, you have to sleep it off. You're not gonna go to the gym. You're not gonna watch TV. You're not gonna go walk the dog. You're gonna go to sleep, okay?
Because I was going to go to the gym.
Oh, no.
No. I really can't walk.
You have to watch the episode of The Boondocks.
I love that show.
They have an episode where they explain the itis.
It's actually crazy. I actually can't feel my knees.
Yeah.
Everybody, make sure if you come through to Mama Nim in Birmingham, come see my girl Shanika.
Clock it.
I just told my brother I'm from New Zealand. What are you Bro, how do you know that?
I'm fine. Pango Pango. My grandmother from Pango Pango. Really? True.
Sudan, boycott diamonds and gold. Free Sudan, boycott diamonds and gold. We most definitely cannot forget about the people of Sudan.
Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.